Hello YouTubers, here we have the notorious, and I really mean notorious, Fostex X12, well, multitracker, they call it on the other side of the recording mixer. I happen to have two of these. That's one that belongs to a friend, and this one is my own one. In fact, I do actually have a multi-tracker collection. Why would anybody bother with tapes? Well, okay, I've got a friend who was part of the electric Cheese Trolley before one of the members passed away, sadly. And he's not brilliant. He's a great musician, thinks tunes, very good bass player, Bassman Sid. And he's not very good on technology, so this is why we keep the multi-trackers of a taped variety going. Okay, now right, here's a review. This is a review by I don't know, who is it called, submitted April 24 from hotmail.com. Anyway, I fully agree with him. It says I have recorded on Fisher Price products that sounded and worked better. Quite right too. I replaced it with a Tascam. It works great. Fostex's horrible sound. Unless you have a $1.2 thousand computer program, good luck doing anything you record on this to sounds worth a crap. Playback is horrible, and you can't record more than 2 songs on one tape. That's not true, actually. I sent mine back for repair 2 weeks after. Then Fostex sent it back with the same problem. I now use it as a doorstop. Quite right too. Right, the only feature is a volume control quality. If you like your tape to slow down and speed up when you're adding a second track, you'll love this hunk of junk value. If you really want this thing, take $100 and flush it down the commode. Then at least your money will be going somewhere. Manufacturer support. Fostex is not friendly and not willing to help. I will never buy another Fostex product again. Now, why do they say such terrible things about it? I mean, that is my experience of this particular multi-tracker, the X12. Now, so anyway, I did a little bit of engineering on it. There's a stabilised power supply which gives out exactly 12 volts. It's homemade. Now, if I was to, this is where they seem to have gone wrong, Fostex. What they did in this particular model, I'm not talking about any of the other Fostex models, just this one. When I had the original, now the reason why I quite like these things is they're small. It's a small device. Be even smaller if you had a wall inside it, but that's just pushing the boundaries. But when the original power supply, which came with this model, when I bought the other one new, gave out about 18 to 22 volts. Now, if you look on the back of this, it will tell you Fostex recorder mixer X12, DC in at 12 volts to 16 volts. Well, okay, I think 16 volts is pushing it, because so the one of the reasons I found out that the power supply that they supply with it, that they send with the unit, is a much higher voltage than what the recorder can handle. Now, what they did, let's just be quiet a moment while I unscrew this. Well, I'm the type of anorak who likes to find out what's gone wrong with something like this, so I go right over the top, do not so much a reverse engineering, but figure out why it kept slowing down and speeding up and did all sorts of strange things. Now anybody who has looked inside one of these things would immediately realise that this is not the original mechanism. Over the years I have collected quite a few pieces of electronic equipment with a cassette player or a recorder, and these are typical Tanashin mechanisms. Now the original mechanism for the Fostex was removed because it really was very, very badly produced. It was just it was absolute rubbish. I mean, it had an auto stop system. So in fact what I did is I replaced from a scrapped cassette player, recorder of the usual type that you would use in your living room perhaps from the 1980s or 90s. I actually replaced the entire mechanism. This motor was the original one, and the motor there. Now, so of course this one I built for a friend. So the entire mechanism was changed, and of course not every single part is replaceable. Now this mate of mine called Sid, he's a bit heavy-handed, and of course he's broken the stop button off. Now the biggest problem is you've got a voltage regulator there, which is okay, which actually regulates the voltage, the supply, I mean, for the electronics. But the motor comes directly from the input. The replacement Tanashin mechanism. So the old one was scrapped. I managed to take from the old mechanism this key set and the bar that goes through it, and fortunately I screwed that on. So I've obviously gone to, why would anyone bother with such a pretty much rubbish cassette machine, multi-tracker? Well, because I'm a bit of an anorak and I do that kind of thing, you know, a sort of challenge, I suppose. I wonder what it is, and then you sort of look into it and then you start to realise what's going on. So one of the strange things that happened is I put a tape straight in there like this, and then I ran it as just a playback, and then I ran it for a while and it was perfectly okay. So then I popped this back on, the lid, and then I plugged in the original power supply, and all the problems came back. Now the reason why the problem came back is because I used the Fostex power supply that came with the multi-tracker, but when I was doing experiments to try and see what was wrong with it, I was using a stabilised power supply, LM317 power pack, to run it. So now with the original mechanism, it had a much larger flywheel, and it had this is basically a square belt, but the original belt that came with this machine was like a sort of a flat, a much larger belt, flat, and a bigger pulley as well. The pulley was bigger. It was about, I think about 0.7 sem, something like that. It's quite large compared to what it's got now. So all of this here has been replaced. The motor's the original one, because I didn't have one that fitted in. Now the problem with the power supply that sends you is, as I said, it's much too high a voltage. It's about 18 volts, and the voltage doesn't drop under load, which I think maybe that was their intention, thinking that they give you a higher voltage power supply so that when the Fostex is running it would reduce, but it doesn't. It's quite a large supply. We can provide a lot of ampage. As I was explaining, the voltage regulator, part of the power supply, it's not, that only regulates the power for the electronics, and the actual motor is connected before that in the circuit, so that the motor is not powered by the regulator. It's simply connects more or less straight to via the switch to the power pack. So what actually happens is the motor gets hot and it starts to slow down. And what's even worse is that this particular design, the actual motor continues running when you press the stop button. So of course the problem just gets worse and worse. Now I'm fully confident that I've been using this before I gave it to my friend, and he's all sent it back for repair. Simply that I misaligned the speed control. That's all it was. So also did an experiment and using this meter. Yeah, I know it's a cheap one, but current range is quite accurate. So I put the meter in series with the motor, and I found out that even on play, fast forward, rewind, the motor doesn't draw anything. It doesn't draw 100 milliamps. It's less than 100 milliamps the motor draws. So one of my plans is to use these wires and insert a 78L12, which is a TO92 100 milliamp 12 volt voltage regulator, and that means when I give it back to Bassman Sid, he'll be able to run it on any power supply that has a positive pin up to about 20 volts, maybe possibly even 25. So I will do that once I've found my voltage regulator. If you just happen to have, if you really want to get one of these going properly, without slowing down, speeding up, all the rest of those problems, an initial fix, which is reasonably simple. Okay, so you could get yourself a stabilized 12 volt power supply to run it from. Now if you want to use the original power supply wall that comes with it, this should work out. Just taking the motor out at the moment. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're clearing out the holes so we can get the appropriate component in.
Right.
Are the holes clear?
Yeah.
Now it's important that these are connected the right way around. So with the 78L12
Like that.
has its the bulge on the pointing towards.
Watch yourself.
Yeah, that's all right.
Does it matter how far through they are?
No. Okay, I've got to let go, it's hot. Oh, blast.
Okay.
We are now connecting the negative lead, the black lead, to the, it's got to be the negative one, okay? Yeah, that's correct, that's fine. Now the red one, which is positive,
Is it positive?
yeah, you have to hold the motor. Yep. Okay, that will do. Okay, this is an old this is the best week. This is royalty-free music since I own the copyright. Copyright. So anyway, we've got this is the motor voltage after. So we've got 12.41 volts there, which is, well, good enough really. And then on the input side we have this is coming straight off the, if I can get it in there, yeah, there we go, that's 14.9. okay, so that's basically the motor is now got a stabilized supply. That's it, thank you. Isn't that lovely? Everybody, YouTubers, people that are out on YouTube world, right? This is a test of the Fostex multitracker, the X12 that I've been working on, and it's got well, it's got a red light and a green light flashing. We're not flashing, okay? So this is a song dedicated to Ben's Junk Ardity Archive, all right? Anyway, you'll get the message, right? Anyway, just in case you didn't get the title.
No shit.
No shit, Sherlock. Because you know R&D Archive is always going anyway. Yeah. So then we've got to pull the cans out, pull that out, right? switch that off, and we've got to play it through the PA, so then the people can know what it sounds like.
That light saturating out the video.
Yeah. Okay.
We're just.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, we're just getting to the 0 point. Right. So, have we got any? Oh, hang on. Have we got any connection here? There we go. Turn up the thing. Right, set on record. Hello everybody, YouTubers, people that are out on YouTube world, right? This is a test of the Fostex multitracker, the X12 that I've been working on, and it's got well, it's got a red light and a green light flashing, but not flashing. Okay, so this is a song dedicated to Ben's Junk Ardity Uraka. All right. Anyway, you'll get the message, right? That's it.